Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
Yo, what up, my sexy people? How you doing?
How you doing?
Today, we are talking about one of the most beloved characters in all of Hollywood. I call Shia LaBoeuf.
Hey, Shia.
Hey, you know what I was thinking? Our names rhyme.
Oh, that's right, they do. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, me neither.
And from this, we are also going to see what led to him going down. Stay tuned. We are going to see exactly and precisely why his career took a turn for the worst. I hope you are ready for this one, and before we start, let us start with the origin story of Shia LaBoeuf. Shia is born in Los Angeles, California. He is the only child of visual artist, jewelry designer, and dancer Shayna Said and professional clown Jeffrey LaBoeuf. And growing up, he was raised around both religions, Christians and Jewish. His parents, he considers, were a bit weird because he considered them as hippies, but he loved them and they loved him, and that's all that mattered to him. But shortly after that, Shia's parents actually divorced due to financial problems, and from there he went on to live with his mother. And at some point, they were so poor and they had so many issues financially that even the uncle of Shia was considering adopting him just to keep him out of all of that misery. Shia even stated that during his childhood, his father was on drugs and he was placed on rehabilitation for heroin addiction. That kept the mom holding the fort while the dad was getting treated. And during a period when his father was in rehab, Shia was saying that during a period when he was living with his mom around the age of 10, he apparently overheard somebody, his mom, in the house by a stranger, and that kind of destroyed him, but he still moved on. Already at a young age, he was very good at dealing with his parents. He used to mimic his clown father to the perfection, and that's where the talent started. And prior to his career in television, he used to practice funny jokes and skits all around his friends, which he always considered as an escape to his very hostile environment at the house. And due to that, he wanted to actually get out of there. Get out and make money and be famous maybe. So at a very young age, he already started to work on his craft and work on his comedy just as a way of getting out of there. And Shia even stated later on that he originally became an actor just because he was broke and everybody around him was broke. At the age of 10, he started performing stand-up comedy at the Improv, as he describes his style of comedy as super dirty, and his material is of a 50-year-old mouth on a 10-year-old kid, which I have to totally admit, it is funny.
Right, so you decided I can't do the modeling thing, I just got to make it on my personality, my acting chops?
Yeah, I mean, I started doing stand-up, and then I got an agent through the Yellow Pages, and that's how my story started.
And little FYI, he found an agent throughout the Yellow Pages, so he calls him and he pretends to be his own manager to Shia himself, and guess what happened? He got him. He took him. So no excuses. Even a 10-year-old was capable of doing it. You can too. And after a few months of performances, he gets a little reputation and starts to get some notoriety. And that's when he gets casted first in The Christmas Path, and then for the lead role playing as Louis Stevens on Disney Channel.
Yeah, Tom, your mom told me to... Ow, Tom! You almost grazed my lip! I'm going in. Happy Mountain, the big old rock of fun!
Assume the position.
That role was crazy. And I, myself, personally grew up watching Disney, and especially that show with even Stevens going crazy on every episode.
Ah! It looks like you're smuggling meatballs from the cafeteria. Look, yearbook photos here. Where are they? Louis, don't rub it in. Oh, it's my picture.
Swear to God, that kid is crazy.
Okay.
And that even earned him a Daytime Emmy Award. He basically grew up making the show, and being casted for it, he says, was the best thing that happened to him. Like, the best thing that can happen to me is you liking and subscribing to the channel and commenting down below when you're done watching the video. I would appreciate that.
W's in the shot.
And while filming around the age of 12, he goes on to live with his dad that was back from rehab, and he served him as an on-set guardian while filming for Even Stevens. And while filming, guess what? He used to go with his dad sometimes to the Alcoholics Anonymous. Ain't that some shit? His father even pointed a gun at some point to his head, to Shia's head, but thank God nothing happened from it. And up until today, Shia is still stating that he still loves and supports his parents, even through everything that happened.
Hey, Mia, you better hide your baby, or I'm just playing. You better hide that big-ass forehead. I was just joking.
And growing up, he attended the 32nd Street Visual and Performing Arts Magnet in Los Angeles and Alexander Hamilton High School, although he received most of his education from tutors. For the next few years, he appeared in Holes, Constantine, A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints, and he provided his voice to Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind that I talked about in my Studio Ghibli story. Go check it out. He starred in Disturbia, hosted an episode of SNL in 2007 and 2008, then followed by a role in Transformers with Megan Fox.
Easy. You're not gonna get it started that way.
Well, I'm just getting ready. You know, I'm about 32% done with my restoration.
The movie was a box office success, and he followed right with a role in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. His next film was Eagle Eye, and follows up with a music video directorial for the American rapper Cage, I Never Knew You. And through this music experience, he met many other artists in the field and met Kid Cudi, which led him to make a short film in 2011 called Maniac, and another music video directorial for Cudie's song Marijuana, filmed at the 2010 Cannabis Cup. And followed by that, he appeared in the Wall Street Money Never Sleeps in 2010, and he came back in the sequel to Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. And due to some injuries and accidents on the set, Shia had to leave to recover, but then came back before the end of the production period. And while the movie was a commercial success, the movie brought a lot of negative reviews, especially with Shia sharing nomination for the worst screenplay of 2009. But all of that didn't stop him from coming back for a third Transformers Dark of the Moon, the third installment in the film series, released in June 2011. And guess what again? Big flop. It received so many poor reviews, but then became the 10th film to make $1 billion, and that marked Shia's last appearance in one of the Transformers, which is pretty sad though. Compared to the new ones we get, they're gonna suck. Little anecdote for the ladies, Shia LaBeouf's was actually nude in the Icelandic band called Sigur Rós. Music video, Jogor Piano, followed by a song describing Shia LaBeouf as a murderous cannibal, which he pretty much loved actually, because he at the last of that performance, we could actually see Shia clapping. Then he gets fired from his Broadway debut in Lyle Kessler's play Orphans, but quickly gets up and stars in a new movie called The Company You Keep, followed by Nymphomaniac. And due to reasons not allowing me to talk about this movie because of YouTube's regulation, I cannot talk about that movie. you will understand. Moving on to his next project. While filming for Nymphomaniac in 2012, he meets the British actress Mia Goth, and in 2016 it appeared that they had married in a Las Vegas ceremony officiated by an Elvis impersonator.
Hey, welcome to Las Vegas.
2 days later, a local official said that the pair were not legally married, but instead a commitment ceremony was performed. Later that month, LaBoeuf confirmed their nuptials on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Then in 2018, they announced their divorce. Pretty rocky, you tell me. While in 2013, Shia LaBeouf releases his short film HowardContour.com to the internet, and what followed were allegations of plagiarism, and where his creation was very similar to Justin Domino by Dan Cloves. Due to that, Shia came out and said that he did not intend to copy Cloves, but was instead inspired by him and got lost in the creative process, neglected to follow proper accreditation. And since they found plagiarism in that story, all of his fans started to dive in all of his stories, and they found way more. Oh, way more. And later, Shia even stated that he saw the copyright laws as too restrictive and that he did not allow for ideas to flow freely, followed by a description of his next project called Daniel Boring, which was very similar again to another comic by Cloves, and that got him a cease and desist letter by Cloves' attorney. He performed many high-profile performance art projects with some of his British artist friends to create I Am Sorry, Touch My Soul, Take Me Anywhere, and He Will Not Divide Us.US from 2017 to 2021. His project I Am Sorry occupied actually a Los Angeles gallery for 6 days, wearing the paper bag and silently crying in front of visitors. But that in the end, he felt cared for however it came. It was beautiful. It blew him away, he says. However, one woman tried to sexual assault him, and luckily, his friends and collaborators came to the rescue as soon as they saw what was going on. And of course, now let's talk about his arrest in 2014. He was arrested at New York City's Studio 54 theater for disorderly conduct, harassment, and criminal trespass. He pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct, while the trespassing and harassment charges were dropped. Following that crazy story, his next project is a film with Brad Pitt called Fury, Then Man Down, American Honey, Borg vs. McEnroe.
Excuse me?
It wasn't on this side of the line, Mr.
How? The
McEnroe.
ball, the chalk flew up.
The ball has been ruled out.
Excuse me?
It was a good call. It was a bit of a scramble.
You can't be serious. You cannot be serious.
It was a
The
good
ball was on the
decision.
line. Chalk flew up all over, man. The chalk flew up.
In 2015, Shia appears in #Introductions, a half-hour video comprising of a series of short monologues performed by LaBeouf in front of a green screen. One of the shots you might recognize is the "Just do it!"
Yeah, boy.
You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can! Just do it!
That meme was crazy in 2015, and it's still crazy up until today. And sometimes I even listen to it when I need motivation. Just do it! But yet again, Shia LaBeouf gets himself in trouble in 2017, and he gets himself arrested again, and this time in Savannah, Georgia at 4 o'clock in the morning. And that was for public intoxication, disorderly misconduct, and obstruction. Then he was found guilty on obstruction, but not on all of the other counts. So at least from it, he got 1 year of probation, and he had to pay $1,000 of fine. And at the same time, he had to seek a therapist to manage, just like they say, issues concerning anger due to substances. And with all of that excitement comes even rockier times. From 2018 to 2019, Shia was dating the musician FKA Twigs, and this woman then sued him in 2020 for sexual battery, assault, and infliction of emotional distress. The lawsuit also detailed allegations that he abused another ex-girlfriend called Caroline Falk. LaBoeuf's response that he was very sorry to the people he hurt, but the lawsuit is still scheduled to proceed to trial in October 2024. Another woman by the name Margaret Qualley also came out and supported these allegations due to dating Shia LaBoeuf between 2020 and 2021. He starred in The Peanut Butter Falcon, Honey Boy, The Tax Collector, Pieces of a Woman, and he also participated in the virtual reading of the comedy drama film Fast Times of Ridgemont High in 2020.
None of them are wearing shirts.
Yeah, but something happened to him. Just come on. Just come. Can you just come on? All right? All right.
Talking on the phone.
Hey, but what's in this stuff you put in here? Does that cause brain damage? Go away, Curtis.
You can't fix
I can fix every piece of this car. I can fix every piece of this car.
Yet again, he gets arrested in 2020 for misdemeanor battery and petty theft for an involvement that he got with a man in that same year.
How you doing? Good, how are you? Good. I got earplugs in, but I have a good one.
But in May 2021, the charges might be dropped if Shia completes a diversion program within the same year. In 2022, it was reported that Goth and Shia had reconciled and she was pregnant with their first child. Their daughter was born March 2022. At the same year, he was in Padre Pio. In 2023, LaBoeuf made his stage debut premiere production of David Mamet's play Henry Johnson, and he is also set to play a lead role in Francis Ford Coppola's drama Megalopolis and star in the thriller Assassination, written by Mamet. But yet again, no one knows how the future of Shia is going to be swinging. Shia LaBoeuf is an American actor, filmmaker, and performer, and he already made so many great things throughout his life that he will be already remembered greatly, and we just hope that he will continue to stay on his right path and his positivity and not swingle around and go crazy like we've been looking at him lately. And hopefully he will be creating more things in the future.
Shia at the time, you know, he was a guy that, you know, when we did Fury together, you know, that was such a wild experience. And, you know, he was this guy who came in, he like pulled his tooth out because he thought his character shouldn't have a tooth. You know, he like cut his face, you know, he didn't shower for 8 months. And at first when I met him, I was like, wow, this guy's just fucking, he's just loud, you know, he's wearing his process on his sleeve, showing everybody how hard he's working. But what I found, you know, after the 8 months of working with him, was somebody who, and I you know, and this is, it's just my own, he is every bit, this thing is every bit as vital to him as it was with me. I found a real partner. I found a real kindred spirit. I found that he was so fucking, he was willing to risk it all.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this was the rocky story of Mr. Shia LaBoeuf. Thank you for staying until the end of the video, guys. I really appreciate that. And if you're still here, I would really appreciate if you comment down below the word crazy, because Shia LaBoeuf is crazy. And also like, subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.